What is going on, y'all? What is going on? It's been a minute since I made another like a video, but today I figured it'd be kind of interesting because I also kind of want to take a look at the current markets of One Piece. So since there's been a big boom in One Piece recently, hopefully I sound good too. I changed the mic a little bit, so hopefully I sound alright. If I sound too loud, if I sound whatever the case is, keep me updated. Let me know. I could keep on improving. But yeah, here let's go to while we on Pokemon. Sets. Let's do One Piece. So for those of you who don't know, One Piece has been popular recently because of yeah, I guess since the Pokemon market is kind of starting to settle, people are kind of like, I don't know what the fuck is going on, but people are trying to get back in or get into One Piece, even though One Piece to me has always been dope. One Piece is what brought me back into the card game. It was actually Japanese OP5 that got me back into collecting in general. Because I stopped collecting like when Evolving Skies came out back in 2021, I believe. 2022, 2021, whenever it came out. And then I got back into it when OP5 came out in Japanese. And I ended up buying a couple booster boxes. Boom, the rest is history, right? So obviously, like I was collecting right here. Awakening of the New Era, which is OP5 set, which has the three mangas. So I actually want to take a look at Romance Dawn prices. So for those who don't know, Romance Dawn is basically it's like base set. It's One Piece base set basically. Um, yeah, it's always interesting to look at the markets because I remember for Romance Dawn, like the cards were always expensive even back then when I was even before this current boom that's going on. This was always an expensive set because it was the first set, you know what I mean? So the Shanks was always one of my favorite mangas too, to be honest. But I love this Luffy. I have this Zoro in a 10. It's in my personal collection. Um, this Law card is fire. I'm just a big fan of it. The Doflamingo is one of my favorite cards too. A lot of these leaders are just dope as fuck to me. And I think this is back then when they used to do 8 leaders, if I'm correct. Oh wait, no. Did they only do 6 in this one? They did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, they did 8. So I think now in the modern sets they only do 6 leaders. But back then they used to do 8. I think they stopped doing it around OP3 or something like that. But yeah, I mean, regardless, it's kind of interesting to look at where the market is. I remember a lot of these cards were very, very cheap. Um, but one thing you gotta understand about One Piece is One Piece, the fan base at least, when it comes to like how people buy cards, is a lot of them go based off playability. Um, Obviously you'll have like your mangas are mainly like your collector pieces, you know what I mean? You might have like a couple exceptions like these leaders. Um, and I think a couple years down the line we're about to start we'll see a shift where like these leaders will be worth a lot more. Um, just because of the artwork. So One Piece does this thing where they'll alternate how they do artworks for alternate leaders, and then this was basically their first like run, and they did the close-up photo of whatever the leader was, which in my opinion is sick. I love it when they do them like this. um so yeah, it's dope to see that this was always one of my favorite cards. I had 2 of these in 10s in Japanese way back when. Same thing with the Doflamingo. I had a Doflamingo 10. um but yeah, I mean, the manga. So every single set has a manga, exception OP5 has 3, OP9 has 4 or 5 if you count the Goldie Roger, I guess. And then like there's a couple other sets that have a few more mangas. I think OP13 as well has 3 now. Well, 6 if you count the red ones. Point is, One Piece is popping. I mean, I'm a huge One Piece fan. So to me, it's always been like, to me, I've always been a fan of the artwork because I'm a fan of the show slash manga. Like I'm literally caught up on the manga. So to me, this like when they release a rocks leader, I'm telling you right now, the rocks leader is gonna be fire. Um, but yeah, manga Ace from OP2. This is one of my favorite. This is one of my favorite mangas, if I'm being honest. Just cause I don't know, it's just the Ace looks sick. I don't like the new Ace, if I'm being honest. So OP2 Ace is one of my favorites. OP2 manga Ace is one of my favorites for sure. I don't know. Ace is just a dope character to me. This Sanji card is really sick. I'm surprised this Sanji card went up so much actually. What the fuck? I haven't looked at the market of a lot of these cards in a minute, so yeah, it's kind of interesting to see. I'm surprised nothing has hit over 100 besides the manga. I really like this Whitebeard card. The Garp is pretty cool. Smoker is dope. Not a fan of the Ivanka. Fucking hate the Kinemon. The Zeph was fucking stupid too. The Magellan. But I mean, I always like how for the mangas they have, obviously the mangas are secrets, so they'll do the regular secret, which let me see if I can find the regular ace secret. Well, no, I guess it's an SR in this one, right? I think it is just yeah, it's an SR. Okay, so we have the regular ace SR, and then there's the altar SR ace, which is this one. There's the baby manga, and then there's the manga ace. So that's typically how it goes. There's three. There's a regular like SR or secret version of the card, and then there's the alt art, and then there's the manga alt. That yeah, that's basically how One Piece works. Pillars of Strength. This is Soge King. This introduced so the SPs actually this set introduced SPs, and it was the wanted SPs, which in my opinion this Luffy is one of my favorites. I'm not a fan of the colors, like how they did. I like the more recent wanted posters that they've done, which is just like kind of like it looks like an actual bounty poster. But still, I'm a fan. So this is a perfect example of the leaders changing up here. So as you can see, these are the altar leaders like the Nami, the Ace here, the Katakuri. I'm surprised the Katakuri is so cheap. I remember this was like super playable back then. But yeah, you can see the differences in the artwork compared to the ones that we saw previously. Me personally, I like the other art style better. I think the Nami is probably the best looking leader out of all of these, and then the Ace is pretty dope too. I actually like the Koro as well. But the wanted cards were some of my favorites. The Soge King, obviously not a fan favorite. I think it's a cool card, but I could see why it's only $500, from manga. So I'm a big fan of this Luffy. Actually, I like all of them. Kid is one of my favorite characters from the show. So big fan of Kid. Kingdom of Intrigue, which is OP4. So this is OP4. This is where I started in English. So obviously everyone knows Japanese is always like a set ahead from One Piece and Pokemon. And so actually from what I know, One Piece wants to they want to sync Japanese and English, so they'll have simultaneous releases, which is kind of cool. But I think they're doing that the start of next year or some shit like that. Because I remember seeing their roadmap, and that was one of the things they wanted to do, which is that's a cool thing. The fact that they'll simultaneously release both. I think it's more for like the metas, because obviously like the English meta follows the Japanese meta, because the Japanese is ahead, like set or two, depending on if there's an EB or a PRB. So yeah, damn, I can't believe this bow is. Bro, I had this car. When it was $90 and I graded it and it came back at 10 and I sold it in English for like, I don't remember how much I sold it for. I sold it for a decent amount. It was like $200 or some shit. Can't believe this card is 500 raw, bro. That's fucking crazy. Even this Edward Nugget, I literally had this card like fucking 3 weeks ago and it was like $70. The Law is one of my favorites. So the last set had the SPs, and there were the wanted cards, and this one had like the different SPs. So there's 5 SPs in this set. There's the Sakazuki, the Magellan, the Law, the Whitebeard, and then the Boa. And I ended up pulling the Boa. So the SPs are, the rarity is in English you pull 2 per case. So a case comes with 12 boxes, so you're guaranteed 1 in every 6 boxes if you want to use that ratio there. So yeah, I ended up getting a case hit, which was this one, or like a 1 out of 2 case hit, which was this one from one of my boxes when I got into it. Manga Sabo, pretty cheap. I like this Manga Sabo though. It kind of grew on me. Back then when I was collecting, I wasn't a big fan, but now I'm like, I like it more. OP5, the big set. This set saw a big increase in price. There are a lot of really dope cards. Damn, bro, I literally had this Nami, bro. I had this Nami at the same fucking time I had that, bro. I literally sold it for $240, I think. This Nami, I literally had it 3 weeks ago. No, I'm not even joking. Yeah, Nami SPs. So this is how the SPs look in OP5. So obviously there's the Gear 5 Luffy, which is the most expensive manga for a while. I think base it is the most expensive manga if you don't count the red mangas. So obviously we have this. We have the stamped anniversary, which I actually have a homie who has this card, but in Japanese. Actually, I know somebody else who has it in English. Now I think about it. And then there's the Law, which was one of my favorite mangas from Law, because there's 2. I prefer this one over the other one. And then there's Kid, which was one of my favorite mangas, because obviously it's Kid. I'm a big fan of him. Again, I'm a fan of the SPs in this set. The Nami was dope. I think a lot of these cards were very underrated for a really long time. I remember this Luffy was like $30-40 forever. This is the PSA promo, the one that came with the magazine when you had the subscription. The Enel, the Rob Lucci, this Luffy is dope, and then the regular non-signed what do you call it, Luffy. I think the anniversary rares were 2 per case, and then obviously you had a chance of one of them being the signed one, which is this one up here. But the odds of it were like, I think they were rarer than mangas. That's why it's damn near almost as much as the Gear 5 Luffy. But then obviously the leaders, they brought back the full art leaders here. Remember the Sakazuki was really expensive for a while because it was very playable, but it got banned. Yeah, I mean, besides that, you're mainly looking for SPs right now out of this set, and mangas obviously. So, and boxes are like at $500, and again, like a month ago, because I remember my homie was trying to sell one, they were like $380. So everything's kind of just going up on One Piece right now. Wings of the Captain, this is the one with Manga Zoro. My homie, actually, I know two people, my cuñado or my brother-in-law, he pulled the Manga Zoro, and then my other homie pulled Manga Zoro as well. So there's Manga Zoro. This is the OG one. So we'll get to what I mean by that later, but this is when they introduced treasure rares, which is the Nami, and then you have, damn, the Miss All Sunday is stupid expensive. This is an SP. I remember this card used to be like, bro, stupid cheap too. A lot of these SPs are actually, the Rebecca kind of stayed around the same price. The Buggy is one of my favorites. I love the Buggy. Actually, I really like the Big Mom one as well. The Zoro, this is a dope ass Zoro card here, but obviously it's fucking Zoro, Manga Zoro. Yeah, bro, you can't go wrong with that. It's one of the best cards. I remember the Yamato was really expensive too. I'm surprised it dropped. What else? I mean, nothing really too notable from this set. Gecko Moria. Where is it? The Altar, the one that dropped like fucking to. Yeah, it wasn't this set, right? I don't see it. Oh, this one, the $8 one. This one was like $80 or like $60, like around the time of release, because it was super playable too. I'm not sure if it got banned or if it just got reprinted. Pretty sure it got reprinted if I'm being dead ass. But yeah, I mean, Manga Zoro, I mean, look at the fucking 1400 raw, bro. Ridiculous. And they go a lot. So One Piece is super gradable, so I know they do get premiums. The majority of the shit that gets premiums are mangas, because they're mainly collector items. Everything else is kind of like mid. I had this one in a 10 as well. The Mr. 2 impersonating Nami from like Alabasta, right? Manga Chopper, pretty dope. Actually, I have a homie who has the Manga Chopper. But yeah, Manga Chopper, dope, can't go wrong. I remember the Mr. 2 used to be very, very expensive as well, because it was very playable. It might still be. Again, I don't play, so I don't know. I just kind of kept up with it. Everything One Piece up until like OP9, basically OP10, around there. So obviously I know the history of like a lot of these older sets, because I was around, I was collecting, and I was in the game like during that time. So I remember EB used to be super cheap. EB stands for extra booster, obviously. So this is EB01. This is the first extra booster they made. And then EB basically reprinted a lot of cards. A lot of the cards that were a little bit hard. Actually, no, I'm tripping. So it introduced a lot of cards, right? The one that reprinted is PRB, and we'll get to that later. So, yeah, I mean, Manga Chopper, you can't really go wrong, right? And then after that, we had 500 Years Into the Future, which is OP7. Not a fan of this one. I believe it's Manga Boa. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the Manga Boa, if I'm being honest. It's probably one of my least favorite cards. Treasure Rare Law, dope as fuck. I've always been a big fan of the Treasure Rares and SPs. I think, in my opinion, the Treasure Rares have always been kind of underrated, and I could tell like recently they've been popping up in price, just because I mean they're a little bit hard to pull. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of the leaders in this set. I guess the Boa is cool, whatever. The Vegapunk is pretty cool too, but nothing too memorable. I actually pulled this kid. This is my favorite, one of my favorite characters. So I actually was really happy when I pulled this. The Doflamingo card is so fire to me too. And then the Nami obviously is gonna get the Nami tax. You already know how it is. Everything else is kind of super mid from OP7, if I'm being honest, and then one of the least memorable sets. And then we get to the best. Now the best is really expensive right now. I think a booster box is going for a lot. So the best is known for having the God Pack, which basically you pull every single manga from OP1 up to here, basically not including Boa Hancock from OP7. So basically from Chopper down. So you'll get the. So yeah. So I mean they're here. I don't even gotta explain it. So it's the Soga King, the Sabo, the Kid, the Shanks from OP1, the Law from OP5, Chopper from EB, OP2, Ace, and then the Zoro, Nami. Nami was the one that came out in this set, and then the Luffy. So far, I think so far my favorite mangas from all of these have to be obviously the Gear 5 Luffy, the Zoro, the Ace, the Kid, and the Nami. Those are probably like my favorite ones. I like the Shanks too. The Shanks was one of my grails for a while. Yeah, I really like them. And then it also introduced the Gold Dawn cards, which were, I believe, they were one per case, something like that. I'm not too sure. Maybe two per case. This is around the time where I kind of stopped, like opening personally, if that makes sense. So I wasn't really too familiar with the pull rates of everything, but and then it only has one leader in this set, which is the Sanji. So it's pretty cool. And then it has a bunch of alt arts. So this basically reprinted a shit ton of the playable cards. That's why a lot of the playable cards from the older sets dropped in price, because this reprinted them. And what I like about One Piece 2 is when they did the PRB, they basically reprinted the old cards, but they gave them new alt arts, which is cool as fuck. You know what I mean? It keeps the hobby fresh. It keeps the players, wanting to upgrade their decks and all that shit. So it's kind of cool way to put it. Now this is OP9. This is one of the best sets in my opinion. I think this set has a lot of potential for growth. I think OP5. I mean, it's kind of easy once you kind of know like the cards and the sets and what's good and what's bad. You kind of know what's gonna do good. OP1 is always gonna do good because it's basically base set. Not just that, it's a really really good set. If it was a trash set, then maybe it'd be a little different. But it's a fantastic set. I'm telling you right now, that set's gonna be expensive. It already is, but it's gonna get even more expensive. OP5 because of the 3 mangas, and not just that, like they're pre the best mangas. So the ones that you pull from OP5 are more expensive than the ones you pull from the best, because obviously the ones you pull from the best you pull in a god pack. So it's harder to pull the other ones than it is to pull the god pack or something along those lines. But still, PRB is one of the better sets to invest in. So like, all right, let's put it like this. If you want to invest in sets, do this. Get OP1. There's 2 versions. I say just get blue bottom, or not blue. My bad. Don't get blue bottom. So blue bottom's first edition. Just get white bottoms. White bottoms are literally the reprints, quote unquote. But they're still OP1. They're still like $1,500 a box or something like that, right? So we have OP1, OP5. I would recommend you stock up on. The best, and then the best 01 or PRB 01, and then OP9, so which is this set. So the reason why I say this is because, I mean, bro, look at the fucking lineup on this, bro. We have the gold manga Roger, the 4 emperors and mangas. I'm surprised Buggy's kind of trash, if I'm being honest. Blackbeard's kind of mid too, but I really like the Shanks and the Luffy. These, oh my guys, are fire, bro. And then, I mean, look at the SPs. Like, not only you have 2 sets of SPs in this set. You have the like OP5 art SPs, as well as the wanted cards. I mean, look at this fucking Luffy, bro. Like, shit's fucking sick. The Shanks, bro. The Buggy. Oh my god, bro. Like, stacked. And then you have the Gear 5 Luffy, as well as the Shanks leader. Like, a lot of these leaders are fire to me. I don't know. So yeah, I don't know. To me, OP9 is probably one of the best sets that's came out. I think it's an anniversary set as well. Royal Blood, which is OP10. This one, I mean, nothing too special from this set, if I'm being honest. The Law is cool. I still prefer the OP5 Law. Some of the SPs aren't really that memorable, if I'm being honest. Divine Departure is pretty cool. Trying to see like what cool is. I guess the Whitebeard SP is kind of cool. It makes sense why it's the most expensive. But Usopp is trash. It must be playable. No way Usopp is this high up. Sanji's trash too. I'm sorry. I love Sanji, but god damn, oh, this Luffy's sick. This Gear 4. But yeah, I mean, nothing really special. Nothing memorable out of the set, if I'm being 100. Royal Blood is probably one of the middest sets that ever came out. And then there's... Wait, did I miss? Oh, I missed 2 Legends. I'm glad I missed. Okay, so my bad. I guess I skipped OP8. So OP8 is, I'm telling you right now, OP8 is trash, bro. So it's Rayleigh. The ace. So the best card out of this set has always been this ace. This ace was always the best card. It was like 90 bucks, I believe, for a while. It wasn't that expensive, and now it just randomly shot up. But in my opinion, I think it's playable though. So in my opinion, this is the best SP out of the entire. This is the best card in the entire set. Oh, besides this leader chopper. Shout out leader chopper for real. But yeah, it's definitely the best card out of this set. I'm surprised that Luffy went up so fucking much too. I think this one's being pumped. There's no way. Oh, it's a treasure rare too. I forgot about that. But yeah, bro, we're not gonna talk about Rayleigh, bro. I like Rayleigh as a character, but god damn, bro, his manga's trash, bro. His manga is trash. So we have Emperor Royal Blood. All right, so this is EBO2. EBO2. Oh my god, I forgot EBO2 had this. Okay, so EBO2 is also a good set. If you want to invest in a fucking, okay, EBO2 is fire. I don't know why. Gear 2 Luffy is 2,700, but I'm all for it. I love this card, bro. This card is probably one of my favorite mangas too. Gear 2 has always been one of my favorite gears out of Luffy too. So I don't know, bro. That shit looks sick as fuck to me. Gear 2 Luffy, phenomenal. I mean, let's look at this artwork a little closer, for real. Oh my god, bro. Look at this graph, bro. August, September, and then September. Towards the end of September, it just jumped up like randomly 300, and now it's sitting at fucking literally doubled. It over doubled in like 2 months, bro. Crazy. Yeah, this card's fucking sick though. Shout out Luffy. So that one's fire. And then the leaders are kind of cool. They look like regular leader cards, but they're like alt arts, which is, it's weird. I don't know. Yeah. So I think you have the alt. So these are alt arts to the leaders from previous sets, which again is kind of dumb. Maybe I have to see them in person. I don't know if there's texture to them or some shit, but yeah, this shit's 500 bucks, almost 500. It's fucking crazy to me. This Luffy's dope, but god, bro, I mean, it looks like all these are stupid expensive. You know what I mean? So I mean, just going based off the numbers, like, this is not a bad set to invest in. I mean, look at, bro, there's so many cards over the 100 mark. It's fucking ridiculous. Not just that Gear 2 is phenomenal. Okay, so now we're going into Fist of Divine Speed. This is OP11, if I remember correctly. Is it OP11? Yeah, I believe it's OP11. So OP11 has 2 SPs that are like anniversaries. So this is when they introduced the silver and golds. So I actually have a homie who has the gold one in a 10 Japanese. And then yeah, Snake Man Luffy, one of the best gears out of Luffy. So this card's sick as fuck. I think this card has a lot of potential to grow as well. This SP Luffy is chef's fucking kiss to this card right here. Actually all the SPs in this set, look, they're all fire. The Shanks is dope. The Stussy is dope. The Altar Gear 2. Damn, this card is sick as fuck. What the fuck, bro? What else do they have in here? Honesty Impact, Gum Gum, Fire Red Pistol Red Hawk. Fire Fist Pistol Red Hawk. Who the fuck did he use this on? Oh, on Doflamingo, okay. Yeah, I mean, OP11, not bad. Not bad at all. The Kobe, I have this card right now. Yeah, they have some, I mean, fire artworks. I mean, you can't complain. I mean, they have, you know, 2 of the better looking SP anniversaries in this set. And then I mean, you have Snake Man in here. This is a good set. OP11, shout out OP11. And then we go to Legacy of the Master, which is OP12. Nah, I think, yeah, I don't like this set. So this set, personally, I'm not a fan of. I don't like Bonnie. I don't know why Bonnie's so 640. This bitch went up a lot. This used to be like 300, 400 bucks. I'm not a fan of the Blackbeard SPs. As much as I like Blackbeard, as a character, I don't like his SPs. They could have given him a different arc, if I'm being honest. And I'm not a fan of the leaders in this set either. They look fucking weird. I don't know. I get it's some people's cup of tea, but not for me. I don't really like these, if I'm being honest. Oh no, these are SPs, my bad. So these are SPs, but I'm still not a fan of them. I'm not a fan of the SPs as well as the leaders. I'm not a fan of the leaders. I don't like the whole, like, you got Zoro and Mihawk in the card. It looks kind of dumb to me. I don't know. I think it's some even worse examples. I like the Sanji and Zeph, the Kuzan and Garp, the Corazon and Law. Like, bro, these are kind of whack. This set was super mid. Super mid. Alright, so now we go to the best two, which is Manga Sanji. I forgot about Manga Sanji. Okay, Manga Sanji is sick as fuck. This is a dope ass card. Not gonna lie. Oh yeah, and then the Gum Gum Giant. Yo, this card is fucking dope, bro. Holy shit, I forgot how sick One Piece art is. So there's that. There's the Luffy. Ooh, the Cross Guild. What the fuck? Bro, if I'm being honest, some of these cards I have not seen because I kind of stopped keeping up with One Piece as much. Like, those early sets, I know everything. But these, I'm like, I know I haven't seen some of these artworks. So they brought back Gold Dawns, clearly. And then, damn, this Shanks is sick, too. Come on, we'll fight you. This one's dope, too. What the fuck? Bro, they got some fight. Damn. This Gold Dawn Shanks. Let me see what else is in here. Oh, the Usopp, that one's sick. Trying to see some altards. I mean, it looks like they're a little cheaper down here. Oh, like they reprinted. Oh, no wonder. It's, damn, they reprinted it and it's still fucking up here. She must be phenomenal then. Trying to see what else there is. I mean, oh, look, they reprinted the SPs. This is from OP6. This one's from EBO2. This is from the best. This is a reprint of the reprint. Think about how fucking crazy that is. Oh wait, no, never mind. Because it came out in EB, I'm tripping. What else? I mean, that's about it. You're mainly looking at these big boys up here. But damn, bro, they actually got some bangers in this set. I mean, the Sanji is fire. The Luffy is fire too. And then, bro, oh my goodness. And then the most recent set, which is OP13. If I'm being dead ass, this is probably one of the best sets to ever come out of One Piece. So I would suggest you buy it while it's still at 300 bucks. Because that's just going to go a lot higher, I'm telling you right now. It has 3 red mangas. So this is what I was talking about earlier. So it has 3 red mangas. Look at this fucking Luffy, bro. This is 9 grand raw, bro. 8 grand, 8.5 grand raw. Like, bro, like there isn't a single thing in Pokemon that you can pull nowadays modern that equates to that, bro. There is nothing. You can pull the best card of the most recent set, grade it gets a fucking 10 and it's not gonna touch this shit raw, bro. Think about that. That's ridiculous, bro. 8.5 fucking grand for a raw card. I can't even imagine what the 10's gonna go for. It's just gonna be like fucking 13 grand or some shit. Crazy. Point is, they're fire. Obviously the 3 brothers, you know, Sabo, Ace, and Luffy. And then you have the gold SP, the Shanks, and then the silver one. I prefer this one over the Blackbeard, if I'm being honest. Still not the best though. This Ace Wanted card is fucking sick though. I love this card. Ooh, and then the Elders. I forgot the Elders one is fucking sick, bro. Okay, so every single one of the 5 Elders is fire. So for those who don't know, those altards are drawn by the Jujutsu Kaisen mangaka, bro. That's why they look like that. That's why they look like kind of, if you've seen Jujutsu Kaisen, you're like, what the fuck, it looks familiar. Like, what kind of art style is that? That's literally Jujutsu Kaisen's mangaka drawing these shits, bro. That's why they're so expensive. By the way, you can pull a God pack, or they call it a Demon pack. And it has all of those, and it has Emu, and then it comes with like 4 other altards, I think. Oh no. Like 5 or 6 other altards. Yeah, bro. I mean, Emu right here. Even the Mar. Wait, why is the Mar so cheap compared to that? Oh, okay. They're different. I'm tripping. But yeah, so these are fucking sick, bro. Even the Wanted. Oh my god, this Luffy is so fucking fire, bro. This Luffy, this Ace, bro. Bangers, bro. Nah, this set has bangers, bro. I'm telling you. Yeah, so this is the most recent English set to come out, and you can, bro, you can tell. I mean, One Piece is fucking sick. One Piece is not gonna slow down anytime soon. I'm telling you, One Piece has such a like a, in my opinion, it has a lot of longevity because it's an amazing. Not only is it an amazing anime, it has one of the biggest fan bases in anime, bro. This is what they should have done with Dragon Ball, because Dragon Ball has one of the biggest fan bases, but for some reason the TCG just didn't hit, or the cards just don't hit. I know there's a lot of people that collect them, and in my opinion, they have phenomenal arts and texture because it's Bandai. But bro, like, I mean, look at One Piece, bro. Like, One Piece has always been dope. You know what they should also do? I was talking to one of my homies and I was telling him like, yo, I think if they did something similar to what they did with the One Piece TCG, like have these types of altars, this type of like effort gets put into all the altars, and you have fire ass SPs like that. They should do this with Naruto. That's, oh my god, bro. Imagine like a manga Naruto. I'm fucking going crazy. Okay, so and then we could take a look at the I believe this is EB03 or PRB03. So this is the best three if I remember correctly. So this is the most recent Japanese set, which is the next one that's gonna come out in English. I don't know when it comes out, probably December or some, or like later this month or early January. But let's take a look at some of the cards for the people who have never seen this set before. So obviously the manga is Uta, which in my opinion I don't think this card's gonna hit like that. I know people like to geek over waifu cards and shit, but I don't think this Uta is really gonna hit. I like the SPs. The Nami SP is dope. The Nico Robin's dope. Oh, so this is mainly like a girls set too. So this is literally all fan service basically. If you fucking put it like, especially for Japan, you know, Japan be getting crazy. It be getting freaky over there. So if I had to guess, I think the most expensive ones in English are probably gonna be the Nami. I think Nami's gonna be number one. I think Robin's gonna be number two, and then probably Boa number three. Vivi is kind of like alright, whatever. Koala's always been whatever. Reiju's, I guess Reiju could be a little bit better. This would probably be number four. Perona has to be up there. Then Uta's cool, but why the fuck does she have wings? She doesn't even have wings. Like what are they doing, bro? Gold Dawn's version of them, which is kind of cool. I haven't actually seen some of these alt-arts. Anami's cool. The Law is sick. What else is there? Oh, the leaders are pretty dope too. Wait, is that the only leader? Oh, okay. So yeah, so it's a best set. There's only one leader, which is Vivi. That's, I mean, I guess that's pretty cool. Besides that, I mean, it's like whatever. It's gonna be a Gooner set, is what we call it. It's a Gooner set. I don't think it'll be too expensive if I'm being that ass, because the manga's like kind of mid, and then the SPs are cool, but they could have been better. But yeah, I mean that's the most recent One Piece set. Bro, telling you, One Piece going to the. I know people like to make that joke. One Piece going to the moon. It sounds stupid as fuck, but I mean, bro, like you can't really ignore One Piece. Like if I'm being honest, because One Piece is getting bigger and bigger. Like more and more people are starting to collect it. When I was selling it, it was impossible to move it because nobody wanted it. But now everybody wants it. So it's kind of like, all right, well, now I got to get back into it, which I don't mind because I like One Piece. I'm a big fan. I kept up with all the sets. I know what everything is, but it's like it's a lot of bandwagons. Is my point. Yeah, I mean, no fucking way, bro. There is absolutely no way. No, hold on, guys. Hold the fuck on. There's no way this is real, right? Bro. No bullshit. No bullshit. A month ago at most. At absolute most. Look. I can't even, bro. what was it? It was like a 380. Literally here. Bro, it hasn't even been a month. It's been like 3 weeks. Holy fucking shit. God, bro, it's fucking crazy. Holy fuck, bro. God. I mean, this is probably the sexiest looking One Piece box. But God, bro, what? Bro, get in a One Piece. If you're not a fan, start watching it, bro. I'm dead ass. I'm gonna stop the recording there. I don't give a fuck. Get in a One Piece.